Testing something here today. I'm testing the old phone as a webcam. It's not able to do the loop through, but hopefully this works. I'll hopefully let it go as far as it's possible. Alright, greetings, this is Ojambo. In this tutorial I'm going to review jEdit as an advanced text editor. The version I'm going to review is actually 5.7.0. I did a previous review of jEdit a dozen years ago, so this is an update. See how it has improved and maybe even gotten worse. Okay, before I begin, quick reminder that I do a live stream every single day, usually about 2 p.m. Eastern, and also you're free to ask any questions in live chat about programming or lifestyle topics. Obviously you can go to the article, and for example here, and click on the live stream, and there you could be able to watch and also post your requests. If you want to post, you can watch the embedded video below. Quick reminder that it's also very hot. We're having a drought here in southern Ontario, so I might have to change the live streams from 2 p.m. to maybe early in the morning or late at night, because it's really hot. As you just heard, the air conditioner is blasting. I had to switch it on. I really don't like air conditionings, but it's the only way I can stay in here. Okay, also be sure to subscribe, like, follow, and leave comments for more frequent content. I'd like to thank everybody who subscribed so far this month. Keep it up. Thank you very much. Okay, let's go on with jEdit. So jEdit is an open source text editor for programmers. If you're looking for a free, versatile, and highly customizable text editor, jEdit is an excellent choice. It's especially useful for programmers who need a lightweight programming tool with advanced features. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through jEdit in a beginner-friendly way, and I'll show you how to install some plugins. My focus is obviously I'm using Fedora Linux, but you should be able to follow along. It's really easy to install plugins. I really like the plugin manager. Okay, so it's open source, it's written in Java, and it's designed to be powerful and extensible with hundreds of programming languages through syntax highlighting, macros, and plugins. The license is obviously GPL. I did a review of the GPL license, the GNU GPL licenses. Check it out. And also the official website for jEdit is jedit.org. So you simply go there. It will take you to jEdit. So the first thing you notice about jEdit, it looks very dated. It looks like it's a 90s theme. Now, this isn't the problem with jEdit itself. It's a problem with Java, because for some reason Java never modified the built-in UI for programming. I think the only company that came closer was IBM. That's why, for example, when you install Eclipse, because they were using the, I remember the name of it. Yeah, that one, it looks really nice. It fits into your theme and everything a little bit better. So this one is not bad. I'll show you how you can change the themes as well when we actually do the review. So because I'm on Linux, so I use OpenJDK. I can use the Oracle JDK, but I believe a little while after Oracle took over Sun, they decided to rebase the Oracle Java on OpenJDK. So the difference really between OpenJDK and the Oracle Java is that the Oracle Java obviously has some proprietary things which they're not able to open source, but for your use case like me and what I need, it works perfectly fine. So you can obviously get download jEdit from the jEdit download page. Sometimes if you're using Linux, it might already be in your distro. So you can just, for example, on Fedora, I can simply just type sudo dnf install jEdit, and same with the Java OpenJDK. Okay, then after that you simply just run the whatever version of jEdit you have. You can simply just write Java space -jar space and whatever the install jar, and then I'll install it on all operating systems. Okay, and optionally you can also make a desktop shortcut. So if you don't know what desktop shortcut on Linux, that's simply it's a dot, the file extension is .desktop, and you put it in your local user applications, and then that way when you do a search or anything, you'll be able to launch it from your menu. In Windows, as I said, you just use the Windows installer, then you download it, sorry, and then you double click on the .exe extension installer and you follow the setup wizard. On macOS, it's actually even easier. You download the macOS package, then you drag and drop it into your applications folder. Okay, so for example, one of the good things about jEdit is that its plugin system, as I mentioned before, like version control, like Git, code forwarding, syntax checking, language specific tools, Python, PHP, JavaScript, and more. It has integrated a terminal, as you can see here. I've enabled it, the console. I'll show you how that works later. You can also have macros. I'm not going to talk about macros because this tutorial will get too long, and I want to do more of the review. So the review is based on what I need as a programmer, especially from about even in the past when I used to do like database stuff, obviously PHP, Python, Java, because sometimes you just need to edit a few files. You don't need to edit like a massive project. So that's why you don't need an IDE. Sometimes just a text editor is very versatile for that. Just some screenshots, and obviously this is the live stream. So for example, if I play this, you can see me there as well. So okay, there we go. So as I said, my requirements for a programming text editor here, there. Obviously, I need to be able to edit code. What is your tech stack? I just this is a question in the live chat from Control-Alt-Delete. He's asking me what is my tech stack. I really don't have. Depends. I don't really have one. I usually just obviously my preferred operating system is Linux, so I prefer using open source tools. So for example, it depends on the project because I'm a freelance programmer. So if it's, for example, like a WordPress one, obviously I'll install locally. I'll install obviously something like Apache or Nginx and PHP and MariaDB, and what else? Yeah, that's it. And I'll test things there, and I'll push them to the customer's server using Git. That's basically what I do. I do everything. That's usually how I usually run everything. Now, of course, if I'm working on database stuff, as I mentioned before, sometimes the database is so large, I can't use a database. I mean, the file or the data is so large. I have to use something like Vim or Emacs in order to edit and modify, or command line tools like sed. What's the other one? Oh my god, I forgot the name. Sed, cat, and just some regex, Perl, or something like that on the command line to sort out. Or, for example, if a website has been hacked and a very large database, I have to download the database as a text file and edit it that way, and then push it back into the database. So little things like that. So I don't have a preferred stack. Most people, when they talk about stack, they're talking about stuff like AWS, Google Cloud, and what's the Microsoft one, Azure. I don't use them. I mean, unless a customer is with them, then I can help them, but I usually don't. I just do it, I prefer to do it locally, and then that way I have control over everything. The reason I do that is not because I dislike those type of stacks. It's simply because when something goes wrong, clients or customers, they don't care. They're gonna blame you because you're the one who's doing the coding, or you're one involved. So I wanna be able to say, okay, I did something wrong. It was my code. Most of the time, that never happens. So I need to know: was it the database? Was it me pushing it? Something along the way. So I'm saying those are things I can control. The problem with those type of continuous stacks is that I have no control over them, especially if they're on a server that I have zero control over. Like for example, GitHub, I have no control over that. So, but I'll get the blame, right? So that's what I'm saying. If I'm gonna get the blame, let me be able to control it. Hope that answers your question. Thanks, Control-Delete. So we continue here. As I said, I do need sometimes I need an IDE. I want a theme. For example, if you see here, I don't want to say it's hideous, but I want to make it a little bit more pretty as well, especially if I'm going to work in on a long time. And I said before, it has to be open source. So if I tweak it, improve it, all everybody can benefit. And the SCM, that's obviously something like source code management, like Git. That's what I use, and this means left mouse button. So a lot of programmers, I don't know if it's they're discouraging new programmers. They'll tell you, oh no, using the mouse is terrible. You should only use the keyboard. I disagree with that, because sometimes you need to copy paste. For example, some of the stuff I do, there's video, there's images, so I need to copy them, I need to resize them, so I need to use the mouse as well. So I prefer to use both. It just makes my life easier. Okay, so this is my system, the Intel i7-2600. It's very old and it's getting really, I'm sure you can even hear it now. It's making a little bit of noise, obviously, because of the heat. So I'll need to upgrade it. So I'll walk you guys through the process of how I upgrade it. It depends on, obviously, especially they say with the AI, I need something really a little bit more powerful, especially with the GPU. But as you can see, I have 16 gigs of DDR3 RAM. I'm using Fedora Linux Workstation 42. It's the GNOME Desktop 48. And this is the test suite. So I have a very large file. It's 1 gig human readable text. That text file, even today, about 12 years later or so, it still trips up some code editors. So that's why I still use it. I should probably increase it by now. And then a regex file, just to test the regex. Syntax, so this is a PHP file with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript all in the same file. So I want to see if the text or the recorder will be able to detect all the different languages. So these days, all of them, I don't think any has failed so far. And then a media file, as I was saying before, sometimes I do drag things into it. I don't need the image file, the media file, to be opened up inside the text editor. What I need to do is I need to drag it into the file browser and see if, for example, little things like a favicon, things like that, or a banner for a logo. Yeah, I need to drag it into the project folder, so that's what that's for. And you can see the Java version I'm using. I said I'm using OpenGTK 21.08. PHP version as PHP 8.4.10, Python version is 3.13.5, and jEdit version is 5.70. Okay, so here is my test scoring algorithm, if you will. So each feature has 2 parts. A score of 0 indicates it's missing the feature. If part of the feature is working, you'll get a 0.5. And to eliminate the bias, I've been using these editors for at least 3 years on different platforms. So of course, as I said, I gave a hint, it's been over 12 years. I've been using them, so meaning that I'm familiar enough with this, so there's no bias, meaning that it's not like, oh, I'm just testing this for the first time. That's why I don't use like Alpha State or those type of editors. I make sure that they've been stable for a while. Okay, now with that said, let's get started. So the first thing is the theme. Now there's a problem with jEdit. Let me close this. When you first open up jEdit, it always gives you tips of the day. Of course, you can check this to not show tips on the startup, but I just leave it there, especially if you're new. You want to be able to learn it quickly. So I think the tips are good for you. So for example, the first thing here is the look. This is actually a pretty good tip. So it tells you if you're using the metal look and feel, which is the default, you can change the user interface control by going to appearance pane of the utilities global option dialog box. So let's do that. So utilities, global options, and you see appearance, and you see I'm using the swing. That's the name for Java. Swing is the one that's from the 90s. That is a 90s look. So obviously you can change it to Nibus, CDE motif. That's even pretty old, and I can use GTK. So because I'm using GTK, I'll see GTK and press apply. I don't know if I have to. There we go. I press OK. So this is the GTK. Obviously, it's using an older version of GTK as well. Oh, I should have changed the icons as well, but I'll leave them as a default. That's fine for this tutorial. So that's why it got a 0.5, because you see, it doesn't look like the native GNOME. So That's a little bit unfair because obviously Norm I think is using GTK 42 or some ridiculous number like that. It's probably using GTK 1, so that's neither there. So it got 0.5. Dragging and dropping. So I do have the folder here for push it here. So as you can see, I'm using score copy, which is that's how you're able to see me in the webcam. See it's live. And of course, I can drag and drop files in there. So for example, I'm going to drop this very large file into here. And you can see it should not crash. I can't remember if this crashed it. Okay, so, oh you see it's loading it up. Now, there you go. So it loaded up. Took a little while, but it did load up. It's actually much faster if I wasn't running OBS, and obviously the SR copy to see the webcam. So I can edit this file. For example, I can go here, see, I can press enter, see I can edit the file, and etc. etc. So it does work. So so that's basically for number 2 and 3. Now one thing I dislike that really annoys me is that you see it puts when you open a file, it has this weird what do you call it, tab thing. It's not the usual tab where you get one here, one here, one here. It has this weird, I think it was, where did we see this before? I think it was in Emacs as well, or one of the other editors. So I kind of don't like that. So what I'm going to do is, and I'm going to click this X button here because I want to close this particular file. Just a second. Yes, no, I don't want to save it, so I'll just click no save. Alright, so control D says okay, so these are binaries of the file. I don't understand that question. These are binaries of the file. No, this is just a text file. You see it's .text. It's a very large file. It's 1 gig. So as I said before, sometimes for my work I do get very large data. It would be like a database. It would be in a text file. For example, it could be a .xml file. So it's very large. You could have like billions of records. What I'm saying is that there's no database where you can simply open up and delete and tweak it and do a search and then what do you call it? Then send it back to the customer. When I'm saying that, it won't work. You need to use other command line tools or a text editor that where you can visually see it. So that's why I opened up. Now this 1 gig text file, I just generated it using I think I used, let me see here, I'll tell you what I used. I used something called I just used a dictionary in the user dictionary words, and I just do a sort, so it's just random, and I use base64 just to randomly make sure it's 1 gig. That's all I did. So it's you can call it useless words or whatever. The only thing, all I cared about was just making sure it's 1 gig, a text file. Okay, so that said, where are we now? Multiple documents, obviously they can be opened. So I'll use the file browser for that. So the file browser, you can see it's in the editor review. So this basically everything you see here as well. So as I said, you can drag and drop, but I'm gonna, for example, I'm gonna open up this one, and I'm gonna open up the PHP file as well. So as I was saying, you see, this is the thing I dislike. You see, it puts everything into one tab. So technically they are tabs, but I wish they would separate them so I can easily drag and drop. You can have a plugin for that, but I really don't want to do that. So obviously multiple documents can be opened in multiple tabs or buffers. You can also do a tear off. So the thing to do that is you have to open up a new buffer similar to Emacs. Okay, multiple editors, of course, here as well. You can this is a non-project file, so clearly that passes as well. And then we're going to check out soft wrap. I'll give you an example of soft wrap. You see here on line 5, it's kind of clipped off here. Actually, let's go to the PHP file. It'll be easier to, no, the PHP. Okay, this is the PHP file. You see another one where it's clipped off. Okay, I guess that's the only one. Let me. Can I resize this? Yeah, there we go. So the air condition is ticked off. So here you see here. Now you can enable soft wrap. So basically you go to utilities, you can go to global settings again, or quick settings, one of them, Google global settings, and then you can go to, I think it was general. Font is hard to read, or editing. Yeah, word wrap. You see, word wrap is set to none, so you can go soft or hard. So you can do soft. So some people, I don't know why they have hard. Hard is rarely used these days. Hard was just a hard cutoff. That's rarely used. Most people prefer soft. So then just hit apply, and you put OK, and you see it's right away. You see this time now, this part that was clicked off before, it goes here. And for example, if so there we go. So that's soft wrap. Hard wrap would be a hard cut, which I said nobody uses that anymore, at least in 2025 that I know of. Okay, and of course we have other things like spell check. So I had to use the spell check plugin for that one. So that one does work. I think I can try it with, let me try the regex file here. Color versus color. Maybe it's not enabled. It's probably not enabled, but it does work. Let's see what time it is now. Oh, 21 minutes have passed already. Okay, so I gotta speed this up a little bit. There's a lot more to go. So word count also works. I think what I'll do is I'll show you the plugins. Let's go to plugins. You can see I've enabled the spell check, so I can do the spell check here. Let's see if that works. Spell check. A spell, unable to find it, so I guess I must have removed it when I uninstalled something else, but so that does work. And word count, word count here, how do I do a word count? Real-time selection word count. I think word count should be on already. Let me count this. I can't remember. Oh, sorry, I was sure. So you go to plugin manager, and you can see the plugins that I've enabled. For example, the console and the spell check. Those are the only two I did. But you can go to click install, and you see it's going to load all the other plugins. There's a lot of plugins, as you can see here. There's like CSS editor, FTP. I don't know why you'd use FTP in 2025. Groovy. Just zipping through this really quickly, and you can see there's PHP parser, SQL. There's a lot of plugins here, and you can also even download more. So there's a lot, and you can tell you the release date, so you can tell they're still being maintained. Oh, wrong. This one is 2004, so it's superscript. So, but it's obviously it's too useful. Okay, so where am I? Indentation obviously works. I'll prove that here. I'll go back to the PHP file, and for example here you see font family. Let's say I want what's another thing I can do? The color. So if I say color, you can see it already. It's already color coded. The syntax is perfect, and it went exactly where I wanted. And if I go here, for example, you see the block. It also did the same thing. So Control Z to undo. So number 10, we can also line jump. So for example, if I'm on line 4 here, put the cursor on line 4, I press Control G, and ask me what line I want to go to. So let's say I want to go to line 40. You see now it's here at line 40. And if you're on a Mac, it's usually Command. I think Macs do not have the Control key, so they use the Command key. So that's why I put that there. I showed you indentation. Fonts can be dynamically scaled. I can't remember. I think is it the Alt key? Is it a Control key? Control Shift? Control plus plus? Was it Alt? I know you can dynamically do it. So let's see here. Usually it's Alt. Okay, doesn't seem to want to work now. It's a Shift. Oh, hold on. Okay, so it does work though. I can't remember what the shortcut is for that. What else is here? Find and replace. So Control F, then you can see you can do search. I'll show you. So you can do a search to find. You can replace. You can also replace a regular. You can use regular expressions. You can do back and forth. Backward. You can do auto wrap. You can do. You can also do in a directory. You can also by filter. So this is actually very advanced. This reminds me of NetBeans. Okay, obviously multiple language syntax highlighting. For example, you see in this PHP file that's open, I have HTML, I have CSS, I have JavaScript, and I have PHP as well. And clearly as well, we also have what do you call this? You can also close the. You can do code folding as well. I think I've disabled that, but you can just go back to the global settings or the local settings and you can enable it. Okay, rectangular selection. Rectangular block works with the alt/. Oh, what is this? Code folding, Control E. Really? Control E? Okay, let's try that. Go here, Control E. I think that's all wrong. Multiple selection, select multiple alt. Okay, yeah, so let's try that. I'll try it with the text editor because that's easier to. Where is the text? Regex, here we go. Okay, so what I can do is if I go here, I type alt/. There we go. So that's the rectangular selection. So you can do that, and then you can search in between that. So that's useful as well when you get a bunch of things and you need to add something. Like, so example, I've actually gotten a request where a customer would give me a text file and they'll tell me, for example, it'll be something like this, and I'll say, hey, can you put line numbers? So obviously you can use regex, but sometimes and they'll say put this much space. So that's where I use that. Okay, and obviously you can also do multiple selection. It's the same thing. For example, I can select this color, and then you can select another one. I think it's the same. It's an alt. Yeah, it does work. I don't know why I didn't put the. I'll see if I can add the shortcuts for that as well. For the multiple selection, distraction free mode. Obviously, you can hide the line numbers. I believe the line numbers are easy enough to do. Isn't there? Oh yeah, here we go. See, these are the other searches you can do. You can also do hyper search. Go to line, text, delete lines, indent, source, word count. Oh, this is the one here, word count. I knew I wasn't crazy. So let's do that again. Let's do the word count. You see, it tells me there's 3 words. Okay, what else do we have here? The file. Oh, I forgot to tell you what version I'm running. So if we go to help and we go about jEdit, you see it says here. Oh, I can't even read that. Oh, this is 5.6.0. That's because I installed it from the distro, so it's a little bit old. And finally, the file manager. Obviously, file manager is open, and the terminal, the console here. So as you can see here, I can type ls, for example, and it should list all the files because so it follows. It's smart enough to know where it already follows the file browser by default. So that's pretty good. That's exactly what I would like. Okay, so is there something I missed? I think that's everything. Yeah, I think that's everything there. So the distraction free mode. So as you can see, I just clicked on that, and that so then you go to view, and you can see here, so I can untoggle the line numbers. These line numbers are gone. I don't know why you'd want that, but then you can just toggle the rest, like the status bar, gutter, buffer, no, that as well. Oh, I forgot, you can also split left, right as well. So okay, it's about half an hour, so I want to finish it up quickly. So the result says that jEdit is a very powerful IDE. By default, it worked without any tweaks, and any missing features can be installed using plugins. As you saw how easy it is to install plugins. For my required features, it scored an 87.5 or 88.75 out of 10. If you're interested in improving your programming skills, you can check out resources. I have programming books on Amazon. The links are also in the description. You can also search for Edit Ojambo. I have programming books on ojamboshop.com. And I also provide one-on-one programming tutorials, personalized online sessions. You can book a session at ojambo.com/contact. If you need help migrating or installing jEdit, I can help install migrate jEdit for you across Linux, macOS, or Windows platforms. Contact me for professional installation services at ojamboservices.com/contact. Also, feel free to comment below if you have used jEdit or want to know more about customizing for your development environment. Okay, it's really hot here. I don't know if you guys can see. I'm just sweating buckets, even though the air conditioner is switched off. Again, it is so hot. Let's finish this up before I faint. Okay, so I'll answer your question in a second. Control-Alt-Delete. A quick reminder: I do a live stream every single day, usually about 2 p.m. Eastern. Go to ojambo.com, then you go to the watch menu, live sub menu. You see the topics for this and upcoming live streams. Also, be sure to subscribe, like, follow, and leave comments for more frequent content. I'd like to thank everybody who subscribed so far this month. Keep it up. It motivates me to make tutorials just like this one. Okay, so in the live chat, Control-Alt-Delete says, do you or will you do any tutorials for OPP in Python? That's a good one. Okay, since you requested it, I will actually do some. I know last year I did a whole bunch of beginner level just Python lessons, but I can do some OPPs in Python. I actually want to do that as well because I've been doing the LLMs, the AI stuff, and that's all in Python, and even Blender. I've been doing that as well. So I would like, obviously, I would like to do more of those, but obviously it might be a little bit too advanced for people. So I like your idea. I think I'll do that. I'll keep it separate. I'll just introduce the OPP in Python. So to answer your question, yes, I'll start doing that coming pretty soon. Maybe not this month, but by the end of the month I'll start doing it. Okay, so that's it. Since there are no more requests, I am going to end this live stream. And okay, thanks all. Yeah, Control-Delete. Yeah, I did a lot of tutorials last year on Python, and I said I do have Blender. I also have a Blender playlist, and I do have what's the other one I talked about? Oh, AI. I do have an AI, artificial intelligence playlist, so you can look it up, and if you're interested in Python. And I said, yeah, so that's perfect. All right, so I'm getting a little woozy here. It's so hot. So I am going to end this, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks.